What if I told you there's a time machine built right into the English language? Seriously, it's this really cool bit of grammar that lets you, well, jump into the future and then look back at things that haven't even happened yet. Sounds wild, right? Let's get into it.
Okay, so check out this prediction. It's a pretty bold statement, right? Looking all the way to the year 2100. But the most interesting part isn't what it says, it's how it says it. See that phrase, will have run out? That right there, that's our key. It's the magic formula that lets us talk about something being totally finished way, way in the future.
All right, section 1, a glimpse into 2100. We're going to look at how we talk about a future that has, in a way, already happened. Let's dig into a few more of these predictions to really get a feel for this. So look at how these are all phrased. You'll notice we're not saying life will be becoming more automated, right? No, we're saying that by the time we hit 2100, the automation process, it's done. It will have become a fact. The jobs will have been taken over. It's like we're standing in the year 2100 looking back, and all these things are already finished. Okay, time to reveal the secret. This amazing little tool we've been using, it's called the future perfect tense. And really, its whole secret is that it lets you imagine you're standing at some point in the future, and you're looking back at something that's already finished. You're basically a time traveler reporting on events that, for us right now, haven't even happened.
So here's the formal definition. We use the future perfect to talk about an action that will be completed by a specific time in the future. And that's the absolute key takeaway here. It's not about something happening at that future time, but being totally done and dusted by that time. Big difference.
This timeline makes it super clear. So let's say we're right here at now. I make a plan. I'll have finished dinner by 8 p.m. Now, that doesn't mean I finish at exactly 8. I might finish at 7:30, right? The point is, when the clock strikes 8 p.m., that future point in time, the action of eating dinner is already in the past. It's done. I will have finished. All right, so now that we know what it does, how do we actually build this thing? Let's check out the grammar blueprint. And trust me, it's way simpler than you might think. Okay, the formula is super consistent, which is great. For a normal affirmative sentence, it's just will have plus the past participle. You know, words like finished, gone, seen. So they will have finished. Easy. To make it negative, just swap will for won't. They won't have finished. And if you want to ask a question, just pop will at the very beginning. Will they have finished? That's pretty much the whole shebang. Okay, enough with the rules and formulas. Let's see this in action with a real-world example. We're going to follow two people, Ken and Kate, on a trip to Paris. This is where the future perfect is actually incredibly useful when you're talking about plans and schedules. So here's their plan for the day. Pretty straightforward. Leave London at 10, arrive in Paris at 11:30, check into the hotel, and then lunch. Now, we can use this to play with time a little bit. All right, your turn. Let's imagine the clock now reads 11:30 a.m. Based on their schedule, what's something that is now finished? What can we say that Ken and Kate will have done by this point? And there it is. By 11:30 a.m., they will have arrived in Paris. You got it. See, their arrival is completed by that 11:30 deadline. They aren't arriving at 11:30. That's just our reference point. The arriving part is already done. It works perfectly. Now, let's add one more little twist. What about duration? So far, we've only talked about things being completed. But what if we want to talk about how long an action has been going on for, up to that future point? Well, for that, we need a slight variation. This comparison really spells it out. On the left, you've got the future perfect, which is all about completion. They will have arrived. Boom. It's a finished event. But on the right, we have something called the future perfect continuous. See that? Will have been traveling. This one's all about duration. It highlights the whole chunk of time they spent on the move. So if you want to put it simply, one is about the destination and the other is about the journey. And there you have it. You now have the blueprint for your own grammatical time machine. You know how to talk about the future like it's already happened. So let's get you ready to take the controls yourself. It really just boils down to these 3 simple steps. First, pick a deadline, any point in the future. Second, think of a goal you want to have finished by then. And third, just put it together. State that your goal will have been completed by that deadline. That's it. And you know, that really brings us to the final and maybe most important point. This isn't just a boring grammar rule. It's a powerful way to set your intentions, to visualize your own success. So I want to leave you with this question to think about. By this time next year, what will you have achieved? What awesome goal will you have already crossed off your list? The future's out there.